Welcome back to the Devil May Cry playthrough. In today's part we're going to take on a boss, and then we're going up a whole new section of the castle. The first thing you want to do before taking on this boss is you want to collect some of these red orbs, and remember that time statue, since with those new orbs you just collect you can probably get a new upgrade. And through this door, it's just a straight shot over to the next boss. A pretty quick level, I gotta say. Kind of weird how it just kind of tosses you in there. And through that door... yeah, there was no surprise here. One step in, you could easily figure out what was going to happen. Oh, look, it's our old friend Phantom here for another ass whooping. I didn't realize we were still in grade school. Yeah, he says that, and he only really has two new moves. Yeah, all he really adds is a tail attack, which he almost never uses and will almost never hit you. And he has a new attack that he likes to spam where he'll shoot two fireballs out of his core, and they'll home in on your position. Not really that hard to dodge, but the fight is virtually the same, although I think if you get him to jump and land in the center a few times, it might auto-kill him. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really done it before. The fight is virtually no different. Still pretty fun, though. It's a lot easier, though, since you don't have columns in the way, and the arena is a lot bigger. So it's a lot easier to dodge his attacks, it's a lot easier to tell where you're going, and it's a lot easier to aim on his back and attack. One thing I forgot to mention last time, though, is that if you try to jump to dodge his fireball attack, he'll tilt his head up to aim at you. Well, the fight is pretty exciting, I have to admit, especially for the first boss in the entire game. And this rematch is definitely a lot better. Another thing I forgot to mention is that I think he might reappear in the sewers. And it's here that I show off a new trick for Devil Trigger mode. If you leap up into the air and you bought the Vortex ability, you can fly, and if you hit square, you can shoot lightning, which can go through his core. Well, I guess he got the point. Yeah! Yeah, that joke died. Oh my god, it's Batman.
You're right. I'm his son, Dante. Sweet dreams.
I would have also accepted Don't Let the Bedbugs Bite. Thank you and good night. Okay, well, we're not done now, but you get the idea. Where were you when I needed you most? I thought we were supposed to be a team. In fact, speaking of which, how come she hasn't mentioned this whole demon invasion thing to the military? You don't think they would actually care? Or, if this was Hell's thing, the Vatican would probably do something about it. I mean, they do have a secret army of assassins. Then again, that was Japan. Oh well. Well, of course, after beating Phantom, you get a nice assload of, red orbs, and you get a key for going to the next area. All you have to do is attack this plank, and it'll instantly backtrack you to an area where you can actually use the trident. And with the drawbridge down, we can actually move forward, but first, there's something in this room we need to get. A new weapon. Possibly the best weapon in the entire game. And it is the grenade launcher. Kind of self-explanatory. The gun just shoots grenades at enemies. It's really slow, but it's really, really powerful, really devastating. It can probably take down a marionette in about one shot. Although the downside is that you can't leap into the air and fire the weapon. The shotgun and the handguns are the only ones that can do that. And like I said, it takes quite a long time for it to recharge after every shot. But you can still dodge, for some odd reason, after you fire a shot. So pretty much, your pattern should be fire grenade, dodge, fire grenade, dodge, fire grenade, dodge. And if you thought I was abusing handguns with the shotgun, this is going to be one of the most devastating weapons you'll find in the game. And the one thing to remember is that you don't want to dick around. That the gate that we just opened up, I think, closes after a set amount of time, so you don't want to mess around and just head off to the new area of the dungeon, or castle, dungeon, whatever. And that's another mission done rather quickly. We're on part 5 of this playthrough and we're already about halfway done. And I got another B rank. I'm actually surprised with how well I'm doing at this, how good I am at this game. And in this next part, or at least this other mission, we're going to find a new weapon and we're going to take on a new boss. And it's here that we're going to take on a pretty fairly large arc throughout the game. We're going to spend a lot of time in this other area before we go back to the castle. One thing I forgot to mention about the grenade launcher is that it's equipped to your arm, kind of like it's a cannon from Mega Man. Kind of sweet when you think about it. And it's here that we are introduced to a new type of enemy. Once again, I don't really remember their names, so I'm just going to call them lizard men. They move faster than regular marionettes. They do a little bit more damage, and they can burrow underground for sneak attacks. They also have shields, so they'll dodge some, or block rather, some of your sword swings. And when taking them on in a group, you generally want to abuse the grenade launcher. Although for some odd reason, you would think that grenade explosives would hurt Dante as well. Oh well, but this big area has 3 different areas that you can go to. You can go to the Colosseum, you can go through that wall where there's the one pillar of fire burning, or you can go through here. Climbing up here, you can actually get a nice amount of items. I believe there's an untouchable and a purple devil star. Like I mentioned before, the purple devil stars recharge your devil trigger gauge, that way you can use devil trigger more often. But the purple orbs full on increase or full upgrade your devil trigger gauge, that way you can be in it for longer. Oddly enough, you would think that a platforming section with this kind of camera would be pretty bad, but it's actually done rather well. It's really just a matter of timing. All you have to do is wait for the platform to rise up or lower to a level that you can actually jump to. And just make sure you push forward and hit the triangle button. I don't know if it's easier with another ability that you can get in the game, or another ability Alistair can get, where you can actually double jump, but what can you do? And here we get our new weapon, the Ifrit. Always gotta have this scene. But yes, Ifrit is a fire-based weapon, whereas Alistair is more lightning-based. And the way it works is that it's slower than Alistair, but it makes up for doing a lot of devastating attacks. It's more power-based, whereas Alistair is a little bit more speed-based. Coupled together with the grenade launcher, the Ifrit is actually pretty devastating, but it's very slow. It can't really combo well with a lot of your weapons, so I much rather use the Alistair a lot more than the Ifrit. If you want to use the Ifrit and be a Bruce Lee Kung Fu badass, you can go ahead and use it, but I'm just going to stick with the Alistair. Here is our second boss of the game, Griffin, I believe it's called.
Are you the human, the son of Sparta who challenges the darkness for this?
What kind of a name is that? The Darkness
Or you
Mundus?
can stick around and find out the hard way.
I applaud Dante for not making a bird brain joke. But yes, Griffin is your stereotypical flight enemy, so swordplay really isn't what you're going for in this fight. You want to use your grenade launcher a lot, because even though it doesn't really do that much damage, it at least shows that you're doing damage, whereas the shotgun or the pistol would just take off a small sliver, whereas the grenade launcher is a bit more of a chunk. But Griffin does come down every once in a while to try and peck at you. This is your opportunity to enter Devil Trigger mode and start using the Vortex, or the lightning shot ability. Very useful, I have to say. And since Devil Trigger orbs, you can buy them in shops, I would recommend buying as many as you can in the shops, since you're going to be taking on Griffin a fair number of times. If it isn't already blatantly obvious, Griffin is supposed to be a lightning-based enemy. Although, I think those platforms that he lays around, you can jump on them to hit him with your sword, but I think they might also be traps that paralyze you. Not entirely sure, but I'm not willing to make that bet. And after Griffin is defeated, you want to be careful because he'll shoot out a weirdo lightning storm and just go berserk before flying off. But yeah, that's our, third boss of the game. Although it's kind of funny how we fought Phantom 3 times. We fought Nello Angelo and he left. Oh yeah, you're supposed to use Ifrit to open up that door. Oddly enough, you don't see any other doors that require that. And Ifrit also has other attacks that you can upgrade in the shop, as well as use other Devil Trigger attacks. Like, I think he has a Shockwave attack and a Fireball. That's pretty much it. It's kind of like Alistair's lightning and flying ability. And you want to save up some of your orbs for this area, because there is a red barrier, and you need red orbs to open those doors. As long as you have enough, you won't have to worry about having to take on the marionettes to open the door. And through here is the end of the mission. Hey, pretty good. I want to thank you for watching, and next time we move further on to the castle grounds. See you later.